Welcome to my corner. I'm Anita with beandesigns.com. I spend a lot of time preserving memories for my future generations by creating digital scrapbook albums with GIMP. Today, I'm sharing with you 5 tips that I recently discovered which can make your life easier while using GIMP and creating your digital scrapbook layouts. Tip number 1. Notice Wilbur right up here at the top of your toolbar. You can actually choose a file, an image file, drag and drop it right on top of him, and the image will open inside your GIMP. You could go to this layer and drag and drop it onto your active layout. Tip number 2, you can set the default image size to be your commonly used size. The default image size, I believe, is 1080 by 720. I am not positive what the default image size because I've already changed mine. But you can go to Preferences, go to your Edit menu at the top, go to Preferences, and you can go to Default Image and put in your image size and your resolutions. So I put in my 300 pixels per inch resolution and my default image of 3600 by 3600 pixels. GIMP now remembers every time I open my GIMP, I open a new image, it reverts to this 3600 by 3600, 300 pixels per inch, my new image. If I were to have a smaller image open, so say I had this smaller image open and I wanted to open a new image, GIMP would say, okay, the most recent image that you had open was 5046 by 150. However, you can push reset and it reverts to your size that you set in preferences. How cool is that? Tip number 3, our new image, right? Right now, you can see this is transparent. This is our image size, our 12 by 12 page, our image. This is transparent. That is not the normal. That's not the default. I've set it to do that. Default would be like this. And so if anything that you had, so say you had this stitching on your layout, you cannot see everything. But if you go to View, you choose Show All, and you can see your image, then you can see the other items. That extends, you can see that your layer extends beyond your image boundaries. You can set yours to be Show All by going to Edit, Preferences, and Image Window, and click Use Show All by default. That allows you to see everything without having to go to View and clicking Show All. Tip number 4 is also found inside Preferences, and it revolves around having an alpha channel. For a thorough discussion of what alpha channel is, see my Introduction to Layers tutorial video. Basically, if an image does not have an alpha channel, it cannot have any transparent items. For So example, I have a digital paper here, and if I wanted to put that onto my image and then cut away part of it, so it's a square or a circle or something else, it needs to have an alpha channel so that what I cut away is transparent. GIMP does not automatically provide alpha channels to anything that you open. However, you can tell it to do that. You go to Preferences and you image import and export, and you click add an alpha channel to imported images and click OK. So now anytime you bring in a paper, a digital paper, so we're going to drag and drop a digital paper, and we can right click on that paper, and you can tell that it already has an alpha channel. We do not have to add an alpha channel to do our dimension, to cut away. It's already there. Yay, saves us quite a bit of time on creating our layouts. Tip number 5 is about the Move tool. So the Move tool, there are two options within the Move tool here. You can pick a layer or guide, move the active layer. So currently, the default setup for the Move tool is that you can click on the Move tool, and then you can actually click on an item and move it. However, it doesn't necessarily stay on that layer. So in order, if you wanted to find what layer this flower was on, you have to, while I have left clicked on this flower, I look over to my layer palette to see what layer was highlighted. This is good. You can determine what layer that's on. But I discovered if you go to Edit and Preferences and you go to Tool Options, you can click Set Layer or Path as Active. So when I click this, click OK. Now, so right now, this, okay, select None. Currently, the active layer is this blue flower right over here. I have my Move tool, and I'm going to click on this white flower, and I'm going to move it and look over on my layer palette. That is now my active layer. I'm going to click on this white flower, and my active layer changed to that flower's layer. This may or may not be something that you would like to use. I just wanted to share it with you. I feel like that often when I'm touching something, when I'm using my Move tool to move something around, I often want to be on that layer when I'm finished and not have to determine what layer that was. This may be something that you would be interesting and helpful to you. If not, not a big deal. My hope is that at least one of these 5 tips would be useful for your creations as you create your digital scrapbook layouts and your preserved memories for your future generations. Check out my channel because I do have other GIMP tutorials as well as weekly layout videos as I share my creations with you. I invite you to subscribe and click the bell so that you'll be notified when a new video is released. Bye bye for now.